Hi, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing 7 subtle touches that send shivers down his spine. Hi ladies, Matt Shaffer, your empowerment, connection, and relationship coach. I'm a former attorney who's committed his life to supporting you and having the sort of fun, fulfilling, dynamic connections and relationships with men that you are so worthy of. And we're gonna have a lot of fun in this video. I'm gonna be sharing with you 7 of the most nuanced, subtle ways of touching a man that are gonna drive him wild. These are going to activate him emotionally, physically, maybe even spiritually, and are going to really help you deepen your connection with him without ever having to say a word. So we're going to dive into that in just a second, but before we do, be sure to take a second, hit that little subscribe button, and don't forget to click the link in the comments and caption because I have created an amazing free training that's going to make a huge difference in your connections and relationships with men. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the video. Now, if you've been out there dating men for any length of time, you've probably already realized the obvious truth that men love touch. We love to touch you. We love to be touched. But what you might not realize is that if you want to connect with a man emotionally and energetically, the type of touch that's going to work best for him isn't necessarily the hot and heavy, sexy time touching that all men obviously love at some level, right? It's all about the more subtle touching that's going to really activate him and really connect you to at a deeper level. So I'm going to share with you these 7 types of touch that you may not currently be doing with your partner or with a guy that you're starting to see or get to know, because this is going to help you build a deeper relationship with him, not just make him happy in bed, okay? Be sure to stay towards the end of this video because I'm also going to be sharing with you a special bonus type of touch that isn't exactly touch, but it might actually be his favorite of all of them, all right? So let's go into number 1. Now, the first type of subtle touch to share with him is the whisper soft face caress. And I want you to imagine a touch so soft, it's literally like you're just pulling a feather across his skin. That's what this is. If you just take your fingertips and just gently run them across the outline of his face or across his forehead, just while you guys are sitting around watching TV or you're laying in bed together, this is a great type of touch for quiet moments together, right? Because it really is a gesture that demonstrates that you cherish him, that you care about him, that you're really appreciating him in that moment. And it's really vulnerable, right? It's a vulnerable moment to share when you're caressing someone's face that he probably hasn't experienced anything like it for a really long time. You know what I'm saying? So if you want something that's really gonna like melt him into the moment with you and connect with you in a deep way when things are just quiet and still, give him a little face caress, see how he likes it. And the second type of subtle touch is the neck nape graze. And I gotta tell you, ladies, touching a man back here, this is where thrill meets tenderness, because there are so many nerve endings on the back of a man's neck that when you touch him back there, it's simultaneously incredibly soothing and also kind of electrifying. It's a great way to drop a man into the present moment, drop him into his body, especially if he's stressed out, he's had a long day. This is the sort of thing that will really shift the energy in a guy instantaneously. And so if you're looking to relax him and maybe turn him on a little bit, start just caressing the nape of his neck like this and see how he responds. And if you want to up the ante even a little more than that, feel free to kiss the back of his neck. That's the sort of thing. Or use your nails back there and increase the pressure a little bit. When you do that, and again, I'm speaking for myself here. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. And few things get my motor running more than when Callie really, takes some loving time with the back of my neck. So try it with your guy and let us know how it goes in the comments. Now, the third type of touch that he is going to love is running your fingers through his hair. And he does not have to have crazy long hair like me for him to love this. This is actually one of the most safety inspiring types of touch you can do with a man. By you running your fingers through his hair and just maybe even pulling it a little bit, it's the sort of touch that makes a man feel really safe, makes him feel very connected to you, and is really gonna drop him into a very deep, vulnerable connection with you in the moment. So don't be afraid to just, especially starting from the nape of his neck, go up into the back of his hair and just start maybe scratching his scalp and running your fingers through his hair from the back. I mean, Callie knows if she wants to put me into a state of paralysis at any moment, the easiest thing she can do is just start running her fingers through my hair, and especially for me, pulling my hair a little bit. So again, not too hard, but just hard enough. You know what I'm saying. So enjoy that and let us know how it goes. Now, the fourth type of subtle touch might be a little surprising because it is in fact a surprise hug from behind. And this is something that communicates so much to a man when you do this. First off, it inspires a great sense of safety within him. When you hug him from behind, you're letting him know, literally and figuratively, that you have his back, that you're here to support him too, that it's not just his job to support you. Does that make sense? Because remember, the story that a lot of men have is that they always have to be supporting and providing and holding everything up for you, for the family, for the relationship. They have to be the protector. But it really feels good from the masculine perspective. I can speak for myself. When a woman, when my partner Callie, when she's willing to just come up and hold me, we like to be held too. We may not admit it, but we do, right? So when you hug a man from behind, you're letting him know that you love whatever he's doing, that you've got his back, and that you're in his corner as his support. And that's how you build a deep sense of loyalty and intimate connection with the guy that you're dating. Now, the fifth type of touch is the gentle hand squeeze. And this is literally a conversation without words. When you give him a gentle but firm squeeze of his hand in any situation, you're letting him know that you're here for him. You're letting him know that you two are partners. You're letting him know maybe that you're excited about something that he just said or something that you're about to experience together. It can say so much depending upon the context of when and how you do it. So don't be afraid to use this anytime you want to communicate that you're here for him, that you care about him, that you're really loving what the two of you are sharing in this moment. Maybe you're excited about something that he just shared or that you're doing. And the great thing too about a gentle hand squeeze is that you can do it anywhere, right? Like, you're probably not going to start kissing the nape of your guy's neck or caressing his belly or whatever out in public, but you can give him a good squeeze anytime, anywhere. It's like a ninja type of touch that you can do anytime, anywhere. That's going to reinforce the bond, and it's like a little shared secret between you and your partner, even if you're, in a crowded room full of people. So if you're in public and you can tell that your man needs a loving reminder of how much you care about him and how much you're there for him, this is the perfect move. Now, number 6 is the slow back trace. Now, this one is extremely sensual, right? So when you're laying with him and you've got access to his back, to run your fingers up or down his spine, that's the sort of sensation that's going to probably get his motor running a little bit and also really deepen the emotional intimacy between the two of you. So when you're really wanting to drop into a deep level with him, this is the perfect move to do. This is also a great type of touch for foreplay because as maybe you're kissing him, if you're running your finger up and down his spine, you're giving him 2 different levels of sensation. And especially as you bring your fingers down his spine, down to, the small of his back and everything, and maybe even below if you're feeling adventurous, you're gonna really get him excited and help him understand how much you appreciate his body and how much you're desiring him. And number 7 is the forehead connection. This is one of the most powerful ways to touch a man in a non-sexual manner. This is literally a meeting of the minds. When you touch foreheads with your partner, you're letting him know that you see him, that you understand him, that you trust him, and that you are so connected to him. You're feeling so connected to him in this present moment. It is one of the deepest ways to demonstrate understanding with your partner in any experience. So this is something that Callie and I do a lot, that we enjoy doing. And one of the best times to do it is after a long and meaningful hug. Are you with me? So after maybe he comes home from work, he's super stressed out, he's been through a lot, you give him a very deep, heartfelt hug. And as you're pulling back from him, just allow your foreheads to touch. And just continue to hold him and touch your foreheads together. And it really deepens the physicality of that moment and the sense of connection between the two of you. And it's gonna make it feel a lot more special, both for you and for him. Now for the bonus touch, which I promise you is gonna make him melt as much or more than any of the other ones on this list, and that is the warmth of your breath. Yeah, you don't even need to touch him with your fingers to make him melt. If you just give him a soft, breathy whisper of your breath in his ear, along his neck, or in any of the places that I've mentioned in the other tips in this video, wait and see what happens. Yeah, it is for me one of the most melting-y experiences I can share with Callie is if she just breathes into my ear. I'm done. It's over. I'm a puddle on the ground. So just experiment with using the warmth of your breath in different areas of his body and see what he responds to, see what he likes. I can tell you this from personal experience and from, human behavior. A man's body, a man's reactions do not lie. He might not be able to fully express to you clearly what he likes and what he dislikes, but you'll be able to tell it very, very, very clearly from the way he responds physically to your touch or the beautiful sensation of your breath. Now, it's important to remember, ladies, that each type of touch that I've shared with you in this video, it is a language all its own. Touch, especially with the masculine, is one of the most direct, effective, and powerful ways to communicate to him in almost any situation. Because remember, we understand touch a lot of times a lot better than we understand words, because words have to be filtered through our monkey mind, all of our projections, our stories about who we are and everything else. Touch speaks directly to our heart, straight through our body. So I invite you, as you're getting back into the connections with men that you're out with in the world, to ask yourself, how can I use touch to communicate my desires, to communicate my feelings, to communicate my intentions with a guy that I'm getting to know? Like if you're on a first date and you want to communicate that you're really enjoying the connection, instead of sharing with him, oh, I'm really having a good time with you, just give him just a gentle brush on his hand. That will light him up and electrify him and communicate to him how you're feeling way more powerfully than anything you could possibly say to him. I know when I was on my first date with Callie, the way that I communicated that I was interested in her. This was when she came down to visit me from Arizona. Was I held her hand after I picked her up from the airport. I didn't tell her that I was, interested in dating her. I didn't do this or that. I just touched her, because for me, that was the most pure way that I could communicate my intentions in that moment. So ladies, we want that from you too. So I invite you to go out into your relationships, look for ways to touch a man that are going to light him up and resonate with him. And it doesn't always have to be going straight for the breadbasket, as we say, right? As I say, at the very least. So I hope you enjoyed these 7 subtle sorts of touch that are really going to help you deepen your relationship and connection with the men. Be sure to let me know down in the comments below any additional types of touch that you have found to be really powerful in building deep relationships with the masculine. I'd love to hear them. And be sure to stay tuned for this next video where I'm going to show you 5 types of touch that are going to turn him on. Now that we've talked about the subtle touch for emotional connection and energetic connection, now let's get into the types of touch that are gonna really get him activated and help you build great, incredible physical chemistry with a guy that you care about. So be sure to enjoy that video, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye. Using different parts of your body and sort of just like rubbing and caressing him in different ways, you're gonna be able to share with him a whole variety of beautiful sensations that are going to really, really